Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Infinite Neptune, and this is Creekside Cottage. So I started messing around with terrain tools, and that did not go well for a while, and you'll see me messing around with it for way too long. But slowly I figure it out by placing the building and then working around that, and I figured that was a lot easier than what I was starting with. So I'm using the Lil Simsy method of add bump outs to a box, and then I make a really bad attempt at roofs, so it takes me a little bit to figure out that little side piece there. Eventually I almost make it look nice, and then I finish up the roof and it looks kind of cute. Then I apparently decided it was time to mess up everything with the terrain tools again. I had to start all over. But I kinda figured out what I wanted, and this was it, I guess. I'll mess around with it some more later in the video, but I kinda went for like a nice little smaller home vibe. I don't know, like, a lot of times when I start these videos I don't know what exactly I want to build. I just kind of make something. It turns out okay sometimes. And I decided to make the entire house blue, because why not? And then I add columns to make it look a bit more finished, which I think it looked nice overall. So I extended the roof to make the porch look a bit nicer. And I wanted to add stairs to the side, but that just wasn't working, so I had it continue throughout the whole front of it. I also considered putting stairs there, but it isn't really worth it because it's just going to be covering up the foundation. I added a little bit of terrain paint, and I tried to put it on the sides of the dirt, which apparently doesn't work. And then I had a bit of a time with the layout because I needed it to at least fit an actual bedroom in it, and that was not going the way I wanted. So I ended up having a little L-shaped bathroom and a 3x3 kids room, with the back being the living room and parents' room. I used quite a bit of packs in this game, actually, or in this build, so it may not be suitable for everyone. I also try out 20 different beds for the kids' room. I was just having a time of it. For some reason it takes me a really long time to find those doors that I put down there. I also was very indecisive about the color schemes, but I kinda figured it out in the end. I try not to do pure white bathrooms as much anymore, but I have a lot of trouble finding inspiration for bathrooms, so The kids' room I could have went into a lot more detail with, but I just didn't. I don't know. I had a bag on my head because I was getting my hair dyed while I was making this, so I tried to figure out like how to utilize that space behind there. So I think it ended up being a kids' play area, which I think was nice. I ended up messing with the layout of that play space quite a bit. Yeah. The build itself is very small, and I'm not sure how I feel about the layout anymore, but it turned out okay. The outside actually looks pretty nice, and I spend way too much time trying to make this whole mini fridge idea work, and it just doesn't, so I end up giving up and putting the kitchen a little off center, which I think it works. Yeah. The dining space is not suitable for the entire household, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is, you know? It is a tier 2 tiny home after all. I like laying posters over each other. I think it looks very realistic and lived in, you know? And I tried to make one side of the room a bit more like youthful than the other, because I kinda had an idea of, you know, 2 parents and a child in teen sim. But, I mean, it's a house, you can do whatever you want with it. And here comes me searching for rugs. I take quite a bit of time with decorating. Usually I try and put in a lot of, you know, little details so that it actually looks nicer. And I think this particular house was a bit lacking, but sometimes that happens. Trial and error of paintings. Yeah, I actually use like that tiny home little painting set a lot. Not necessarily those color swatches, but I actually really like them. They're very cute. They work in most spaces. Yeah, I end up moving that around so that because I hate the kids having, you know, monsters under the bed. It's so annoying. And here comes the outside, which took me a really long time. I think it turned out pretty okay. There's a nice little outdoors, like, hangout space, and I think it's quite nice. I put in a couple of trees, just, you know. And here comes my personal hell. It just rocks upon rocks. Thank God for move objects. It's just like a mess of layering. I think this goes on for like another 5 minutes. Like, there might be some spots left over from the finished project that have a little bit of floating issues, but if it does, don't tell me. It took me so long because this is like sped up. And there goes messing with the drain again. I haven't really used the terrain tool very often in my builds, like even ones that don't go up on the gallery. It was weird because for the longest time we didn't have it, and I gotten used to just super flat builds, but not anymore. Apparently this little family house is on a weird hill. Like this, the rock pile, it's just so unnecessary. I don't know why I did. I think it looks nice with the finished project. Yeah. I really love that grass from Island Living. It's a bit, it looks a bit out of place in certain worlds, but I think we need more grass that's really bushy like that, because it just looks super like nice. I really like it. And then I proceed to place that grass to try and hide the dirt because it was really annoying me. And yeah, you'll see at certain points it's like trying to like go to the wrong levels when I'm trying to place it. So there are areas that might actually have two of the grass when it really shouldn't, because I just didn't want to go back and delete it. Yeah. This took me embarrassingly way too long, but I really like how it ended up. Yeah, and it, like, I tried to, like, make it work over there, and then it was being a bit hateful. So, I was trying to, like, yeah, use the Control 9 and get it up there so it looked better, but I didn't want it to be floating on top of the rocks, too, so there was a little bit of struggle there. And by a bit, I mean a lot. There's always struggle. And then I finally put wood on the balcony. And my god, terrain tools and terrain paint, I am absolutely horrible at. It looks so bad, but I tried. I'll get better at it eventually. It's a process. And more landscaping because the, like, 1,000 bushes weren't enough. Yeah. I love those little blue hedges. They're very cute and very nice. And the irises. Irises are actually one of my favorite flowers. We have a bunch in the front of my house. So I actually have one, and his name is Captain Jack Sparrow. I love him dearly. So I end up, like, kind of playing around with the terrain to try and smooth it out some more. And then I put a pool back there, and I made it a shape. Don't know why, but I actually, like, drew it out myself. I think it actually looks really cool with the rest of the house and the lot. Yeah, I went with, like, a slightly darker gray for the pool trim so that it doesn't stand out too much from the foundation. And then pool lights, because we always need pool lights. and I went with the get-together pool water because it looks super nice to me. Yeah, and that's the Creekside Cottage. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.